What to do before getting your real estate license. There's actually a lot you can do as you're going through the licensing process in order to build massive momentum so that once you actually pass your test and get your license, you're off to the ground running and you're starting to build momentum quickly, meaning that you're actually going to shorten the time it takes to get your first deals. A lot of agents unfortunately wait until they finish their licensing process in order to start doing these activities that I'm going to share with you today, which is why it takes the average new agent about 6 months to close their first deal, whereas the agents that follow what I'm about to share with you today usually close their first deal within the first couple of months. So without further ado, I'm going to share with you 6 things that you can do while you're getting a real estate license that are going to help you build massive momentum so that you crush it as a brand new real estate agent. What's up, guys? It's Mike Sherrard with eXp Realty. Thank you so much for tuning in as always, and I'm really excited to share this information with you because I want to see you come into the industry, succeed, and build the business of your dreams. So what we're going to do is the first 3 are going to be a little bit more generic, but the last 3 are going to be the things that are going to really separate you from the rest of the new agents and help you absolutely crush it from day one. So let's get straight into it. Number 1 is actually shadowing another agent in your local market in order to get some firsthand real-world experience of what it's actually like to be an agent, because similar to university where I went, or college, or any other post-secondary education, what you learn in your real estate process is usually more or less theoretical, whereas what you need is the practical experience. And by shadowing somebody, it's going to give you a really great opportunity to set your expectations and get a glimpse as to what you can expect when you get your license. Now, I actually have agents in almost every single state and every single province in North America in my organization. So if you do want to shadow somebody that's got all of my best strategies, then just drop a comment below and I'll make sure that I can connect you with the right person. Number 2 is practicing your scripting. This is really important because when you look at real estate and the agents that succeed, it's not the ones with the most experience. It's not the ones with the biggest budget. It's the ones that are the best at communication. Communication is the number 1 skill you need in order to thrive and dominate your market as a real estate agent. And one of the best ways to do that as you're going through the licensing process is to start to practice your scripts, whether it be things like cold calling scripts, door knocking scripts, listing presentation, buyer presentation scripts, and really diving into how to handle objections and how to properly communicate your value as a service as a real estate agent. Now, if you also want my door knocking scripts to give you a bit of a foundation of how I absolutely crushed it with door knocking as a new agent in my market, then just again, drop a comment below, ask for it, and I'll make sure that I give you a direct link to those scripts because I have a bit of a unique approach, a more subtle approach to door knocking. And I think that's why I converted so high is a lot of the scripts you find out there, unfortunately, I don't even believe most agents use them because they're so aggressive, so pushy, and it would push me away, to be honest. So if you want some scripts that are actually realistic, then again, I'll make sure that I give those to you. Number 3, study your market. The more you know, the more valuable you're going to become to your clients. And especially for the new agents and the younger agents who are obviously the ones that are likely watching this video, one of the things that you're going to face is that people are going to question how long you've been in the business, or if you're a younger agent, how old are you? Because unfortunately, people judge, and it's just the nature of being a human. It's not right, but it is how people operate. So one of the things you can do in order to combat the question of how long have you been in real estate is to study your market, know the ins and outs of the data in terms of sales, listings, inventory, average days on market, average list to sales price, not just for your overall city, but also for the different submarkets that you want to farm. Because what this is going to do, and this is what happened with me as a new agent at 24 years old back in 2017, was that nobody has ever asked how old I am or how long I've been in the business. Because whenever anybody asked a question about the market, I wasn't just saying what most agents say, oh, it's so hot, or oh, it's so good, or oh, it's so bad. I was able to give very practical, real life data based on the top of my head from the data that I've studied in order to give them confidence that I actually know what I'm talking about. And when you give people that confidence, they see you as a more valuable resource, and they're never going to come with those objections that don't really matter. The only time you're going to get asked how long you've been in the business is if you seem like you don't know what you're talking about, and that is a sure sign that you haven't been studying the market data. Now, one of the good things before we go on to number 4 is that usually if you type in like Denver real estate market data, or for my situation, Calgary real estate market data, usually every single MLS board has publicly available market data that you can just download. So my recommendation is to make sure that for wherever city you live in, just check online, because usually you're going to be able to start to study that, and it's going to make sure that you've got your finger on the pulse of what's going on in your market. Number 4, where we start getting a little bit more creative, is start to think about your personal brand, because one of the things a lot of agents struggle with, especially after they just get their license, is they are told incorrectly that your brokerage brand matters, and that whatever brokerage you decide to join, if you want to talk more about partnering with us and how we have got such a massively high success rate for new agents, feel free to reach out or book a one-on-one with me in my calendar link. It's in the description. But either which way, most brokerages, especially traditional franchise brick and mortar brokerages, are going to tell you that you need to fly their logo high in the sky, that the brokerage brand is going to bring you business, that the brokerage brand matters. And I'm here to tell you, and any unbiased top producing agent will always tell you, that the brokerage brand does not matter. Your brand matters. You are your brand. You need to identify what you want to be recognized for, what unique skill sets that you have, and also just simply what is your passion. I've got a ton of videos on my channel about how to build a personal brand, how to become a local celebrity as a new agent, but this is really important. It's not difficult, but my passion was cars, so I tapped into the car community. I know other people's passions is, outdoor activities, hiking, things like that. They tap into that community. Look at where you want to build your niche around based on the passions that are authentic and real to you, and then also think about how you're then going to translate that into your real estate brand so that you can use it in order to get business. Number 5, set up and become active on all social media profiles. Things like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok. All of these platforms are essential in order to build your real estate business in the modern world. And my recommendation is, because you're not licensed, you're not able to put out certain real estate specific stuff. Again, check with your MLS board to make sure that you're within compliance. But more or less, my recommendation here is just start to become proficient with using them. Start to play around with it. Start to browse. Start to create content and become familiar with the different features of each platform, because any of the agents that come into my organization at EXP crush it with social media, and we've had agents do up to 87 deals in their first year entirely free through social media. And I was helping them, as they're getting towards their licensing process, with understanding how to use these platforms. So it's really important that once you're licensed, to be able to hit the ground running. And the only way to do that is before you get licensed, set up your profiles and start to become comfortable with using each of these primary pillar platforms. Number 6, to wrap things up, is start to look at selecting a brokerage. I've got a video, I'll link it in the card above, that will actually break down every single step you need to look at when considering which brokerage to join. And this was actually a mistake that I made. I did the majority of these as I was studying for a real estate license before I became a licensed agent. However, the one thing that I did wrong is I was just shadowing a local agent, didn't really vet brokerage opportunities, pros and cons of each, and just joined the most recognized traditional brick and mortar franchise brokerage in my city. And unfortunately, that didn't work out too well, because he had no support, high fees, no training, and very old school. So again, choosing your brokerage as a new agent is going to make a massive difference of your success rate. And that's why I actually have specific things that focus on helping accelerate the growth curve to help brand new agents get their first deals within the first couple of months. And it works wonders for agents in every single market. So again, selecting your brokerage is a really important decision. And if you want to have any conversations about that, I'm always here to help, because I want to make sure you don't make the same mistakes that I did, and that you actually have a super successful first year and crush it out of the park like I know you're able to. So if you have any other questions about what you should be doing during your licensing process before you become a licensed real estate agent, drop a comment below. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.